white girl going through my mind. Sarah Jack and Julie too. White girl, Julie, Jack and Sharon, help me unwind. The more I see, the more I do.
Yo, what's good, people? It's Petty from PettyPost, and we're here with another episode of Live with Petty. Today we have Mighty Casey in the building. What's good, man?
What's up, Petty, man? Thanks so much for having me on the show.
No problem, no problem. Like, now, you know what I mean? Like, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who might know, Mighty Casey is not just an artist per se. He had a song that went viral in the early 2000s, and it was picked up by the film White Chicks, right?
Yeah, the Wayans Brothers movie.
Yeah, White Girls, and
it was on BT Uncut. It was viral before like social media. It was viral, like people like, yo, it was a show at 3 in the morning, so it was viral, like, yo, you gotta watch it. This crazy dudes on TV talking about white girls, like, so it was like word of mouth viral, you know what I'm saying, rather than social media viral. So it was like right before the YouTube era, right before the Facebook era. In the early 2000s, it dropped. And yeah, it turned out to be, it was like a real cheap video. And it blew up, you know, thanks to BET, thanks to the Wayans Brothers, thanks to a lot of DJs.
Nice. Now, as I said, he's an artist, but not just an artist. He's also a writer. He used to write for a couple of publications as well.
Yeah, I used to write for News One. I was one of the founding editors over there. So it was a black news website for Radio One, which was also like TV One, big like black-owned media company. I worked with them. I also wrote for Huffington Post. I've also written for Mass Appeal, All Hip Hop, Who, What, Why, and I wrote a book inside the CIA Secret War in Jamaica. It's a pretty big thing. So I don't know if anyone's seen the new Netflix documentary Matt said about the assassination of Bob Marley. It deals with stuff like that. Any people familiar with like the Shower Posse? I mean, people might be familiar with Duttis, but it deals a lot with his father, Jim Brown.
Right.
A lot of the cocaine trade was going on, but it also deeps into like the real history of the CIA, the JFK assassination, Iran-Contra, and how a lot of things like kind of tie together in Jamaica.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna this interview is gonna be broken down into those different aspects. So we're gonna start with the music first.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Mighty Casey. How did you come up with that name?
Well, there's a famous poem about a baseball player named Mighty Casey, and he was like a big guy in Mugville, and he struck out. So that's the end of the story. So it's not the best name, but I felt like, you know, a lot of Jamaicans like Mighty Diamonds, you know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of, like, and I feel like a superhero aspect. I feel like a lot of rappers and reggae stars are like superheroes, you know, Super Cat, you know, Mighty Casey, you know, Wonder Dog, whatever, or, you know, Method Man, Redman.
Right.
So I felt like, you know, just kind of like adding to that superhero aspect of it. I'm not just regular Casey when I rap.
It's more of a
Mighty
definition.
Yeah, like super.
Okay, now also with the name Mighty Casey, like how did in terms of the musical career, how did you give me a brief background and like if you looked up to anybody coming up and any role models and stuff like that?
Well, growing up, I really loved like Run DMC a lot. That was my first group where I liked myself about that. But that vinyl myself, I actually had the vinyls. I would thank myself how old I am. Like my parents had me into like the Beatles and Jimmy Cliff and stuff like that, and that was good. I liked them, but like Run DMC was my first, my own. This was my culture. This was my thing. And then I evolved. I got into like Slick Rick, like Slick Rick a lot. Tribe Called Quest, and then De La Soul. Like I was always like a funny kid. I wasn't like the toughest kid, so I could really relate to some of the abstract, the funny guys like this Biz Marquis. So a lot of that was the hip hop I looked up to. I did like a lot of the gangster stuff. Like I liked Intelligent Hoodlum.
Right.
I liked NWA, Ice Cube, PE. So a lot of political stuff.
Right.
It was like when it was like not just street, but street with like some consciousness behind it.
Right.
So Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, all that stuff. So a combination, I would say, of, you know, the funny and the abstract, but also the real. So that I think that's like my persona too. Like I try and be funny, but also as a journalist, I try and tell you the truth, what's going on. So for music, I'd be doing, you know, two little things. Like I would like the entertainers, and also people like Slick Rick, who would tell you the truth in a funny, entertaining way, like children's story. He tell a funny story, but it's a real story about, you know, the perils of, you know, peer pressure and violence and robberies and stuff like that. So a lot of those artists that on the reggae tip, Jimmy Cliff, I looked up to him a lot, big time, because my cousin co-wrote Harder They Come, a big Jamaican movie.
Man.
My cousin Trevor Roan, rest in peace.
For those who don't know, Harder They Come is a classic. Like anything back then that was done, like everyone was in their element. So that's where music, in terms of where we coming from with hip hop and everything else, that's where a lot of those influences and energy come from. So that's the original United Club.
Yeah.
And to be a part of the film, The Harder They Come, and to co-write it.
He also wrote and directed another classic Jamaican movie called Smile Orange, which is a
I remember Smile Orange.
It kind of parodies the hotel business, the tourism business in Jamaica. So because he was my cousin, I had that album cover, and I just listened to it. So I was in the Tubes, Jimmy Cliff, all that, and of course, everyone's into Bob Marley. My aunt gave me rebel music at a young age. And then, as I older, gravitated my own self. When I could buy my own stuff like Buju, Supercat, Bounty Killer. Then, more into the 2000s, Sean Paul, Richie Spice, all those other type acts. Damian Marley, of course. So, wide variety of influences. Rock and roll too, like Rolling Stones, like, Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan. I like to try and have a wide variety of Paul Simon,
And for an artist and for someone who writes, author as well, you are well rounded in terms of your scope. So I interviewed some artists and they just named like 2-3 people, but you just went around the world in terms of every genre. So that shows you what goes into the material you put out and where your thought level is at. Now in terms of like on the artist side still. Performances. What was your most memorable performance?
I've opened up for people like Cormega. Some of the most memorable performances I've had thrown stuff at me, boom, and the bad stuff you really like. I've had a whole bunch of I've opened up for so many people and like I've opened up a lot of like street tough acts. You know what I'm saying? But I really like performing here. I like performing around here. Mankind, Jabami. Before I've been like a solo person, but now I got like Jabami on my project. I'm managing hip hop group called Mankind. So we have it for the Esther crowd. So I like the last couple performances here, and I've been having my own release parties in England and stuff. So I feel like I'm confident and better as an artist now. When I was young, I might have been like excited, might have been sloppy, off-beat, breath control. But now I feel I still have the energy, but I feel I still have the experience.
Alright, now pretty much you had a lot of experiences with music, when it was in the 90s, 2000s. What do you think about the industry today?
I feel, there's a lot of great things going on about the internet and how it changed it, and a few bad things that are going on in the internet, how it changed the game. I think it's really wonderful that anybody could just, through technology, is real easy for anyone just to record a song, shoot a video, do that. But I think that's bad because I think it saturates the market because anybody can do it, so anybody is doing it. When I did it, it was special to be a rapper. It was like, I'm a rapper. That's like, I'm a soccer player. Or I play football. It was like I had a specific talent that meant something. It meant something. Yeah. And then like I would have to invest my own studio time and money and like hustle to get a video done, and hustle to promote it, like to even. Before YouTube, like to even get my video online, I would have to like hustle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anybody can see it. Like people have to come to my house to watch my video. I would be like the exclusive. So I feel like saturated. It's saturating the market a little bit, and also I feel like one good thing about like the old stuff is like the radio, like TV and stuff like that, is that there was good curation around it. Like Yo MTV Raps, great curation. Like I did the reggae show before the Stretch and Barbito show, so they would curate the music, so it wouldn't be like right now I see the internet and I have all the stuff out there and it's not necessarily curated. And the websites that's supposed to cover up like the music, they just cover a lot of the gossip and stuff. Right. So yeah, so I feel it's really good for if you're an independent artist, you don't need a label anymore, That's great. I feel in terms of like being mega popular, I think a lot of people have to rely on more antics. You know what I'm saying? Like you see Drake's all in the news, or Tekashi 6ix9ine, Nicki Minaj. Like a lot of the popular artists is popular because they're always in the blog, always in the news, stay socially relevant. which is, you know, it's whatever. Like I still like Tekashi 6ix9's music, you know what I mean? Still like a lot of Drake's music, but so I think it's great. I just think there needs to be some level of curation because I'm not really a fan of the labels, the exploitation. I think you get new levels of exploitation. You know what I mean? I think people need to understand like you really need to have your merch and your shows ready, show money ready because with streaming, like you're not making much money off streaming in terms of CD sales, but you gotta look at streaming as not only as a source of income but a source of promotion.
Promotion, right?
So if you're on a Spotify playlist, not only should you be getting revenue for those streams, but also those new people who listen to you on a playlist. Like when you're in town, you know they can come in, they go to your show, they buy your merch. So it's all about building that. I think it's a great time for the industry. There's bad things in terms of saturation. You're always gonna have, you know, lowest common denominator, like, you know, sex and violence selling, like catchy music. People are always gonna try and like brainwash kids into listening to this stuff. So a lot of this stuff has always been there. You know, a lot of the glorification of violence and sex has always been in the music. I don't want to really, my day, you know, it was always wild, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel it's good, it's wide open. I like it for myself that, you know, I don't need to go around begging labels just to get my music on Spotify and iTunes. And then, you know, I might have to work harder to chase the curation to get it out to the general public. But it is what it is. You know, sometimes you just gotta roll with it. You know, you can't just say, you gotta realize, you know, the cons are here, the pros are here. So let me take advantage of the internet and hustle my best.
And that's pretty much what it is. It's like finding your way and your stability in what's going on. Because as I said, the exclusivity is taken away from it, like that reward you get from going and pushing your music outside and seeing the results in terms of bookings and stuff how it was done back in the day. The joy of that is not there no more because anybody could upload their music.
Right.
Everybody could pay for sponsorship and get it bumped up to get hits. You know what I mean? So it's like you could pretty much pay your way through the industry now.
And I mean, and it's been like that a little bit before, and that means like you're gonna have a lot of rich kids or people who got street money behind them. So like rich kids, and that's, you know, and then the talented people is kind of
pushed to the side. Those are the people who end up on the billboards.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Not saying they don't have talent, it's just that what about the other people who are doing, as I said, the curation part of it.
But another thing I feel about the music business right now is like what's hot now isn't what's gonna be like hot forever or last forever. A lot of the hot stuff right now, like, you know, you might have old songs, no disrespect, like Laffy Taffy might have been like the biggest song ever, but people's not necessarily talking about that. But they might still be talking about, you know, underground acts from, you know, they might still be talking about like Company Flow, or they might talk about Acrobatic, or certain underground acts who never were really popping, but they still have their forever legacy. So I feel like with the internet, like you get a legacy. Like I think like history is gonna be the real best judge of music, not who's hot on the Billboard now, but who people talk about 20 years from now. Who are the innovators from this era? You know what I'm saying?
Now, in terms of the song "White Girls" that took off, talk to me about how that came about. Like from the point where you wrote the song and to where it got picked up and put in the movie White Chicks.
Right, I think so at the time I was definitely paying attention to like a lot of, like, I've always been a comedy guy. I was like Weird Al Yankovic, always like A Living Color when they would do like the Mr. Ugly Man or White Baby or Eddie Murphy when he would do like, you know, funny music. Like I like music for being serious, but also like, you know, parody, satire on a comedic level. So I think there was an artist, Necro, he had a song, I Need Drugs, which was like I Need Love, and it was just a crazy, sick song where he was talking about being a crackhead, and I was like, he was kind of like trolling. I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, like, what if I could do something similar to that? I was like, all right. And I think it might have been my producer, he might have said something like white boys. I'm like, nah, I can't make a song about white boys or white girls, you know what I'm saying? So, and then from there, I was like, all right. So like the first verse, I took it from like, I used to really like Positive K and his I Got a Man songs, and where he be hollering at a girl, so I was like, alright, so let me take this, like I'm gonna holler at a white girl. Like, have you ever messed with a light-skinned Mandingo? And then the second verse, I was inspired by Biggie when he was talking about dreams. on Dreams, Biggie would just talk about all the, you know, the R&B girls that he had sex with. So I was like, all right, let me talk about all the white girls I had sex with. And then the hook was like, I remember I was just like, you know, don't tell me this is a flower. I was trying to think like, what rhymes with something like a phenomenon. I was like, you know, so yeah. And then so I already had the attention. I already had another song called Liquor Lane that was on a compilation with like Dilated People, Beastie Boys. It was like a major label compilation. Razor and Tie almost major. So I had fans, and then there was a director who was going to college in Boston named Matt Moran, and then he actually knew a friend of mine, so he said he wanted to do a video for me. And he was like, it was really Liquor Lane. I was like, nah, I got this new song, White Girls. I think it's gonna be big. Cause I already had the feeling like I knew it was a reaction. You know, I knew I had some good funny one-liners.
Yeah.
So I was like, he was like, so he's like, to Daddy did an ad in Craigslist. So the video cost me $2. I spent $1 to get there on the subway and $1 to get back.
What?
Yeah, the video cost me $2. Wow. That was my budget for the video. And then and I think again, this is before like exclusively like today, like anybody with a homie could shoot a video on an iPhone, get a camera, edit it. But this was like before technology, when you had to find someone with Final Cut Pro. It wasn't as common. So even though it was a no budget video, it was still a video. And I think with the theme, and then so I was like I said, I was showing around my crib all the time, and then one of my friends told me he saw it on BET Uncut, and then I called him up, and they was like, nah, we didn't show you the video. I was like, all right, but how can I? And they told me how to do it, so they told me how to do it. I sent it in, they liked it, and this was 2002, and the video wound up running on pretty regularly on their show for 4 years, like 4 years on BET Uncut, and that's how. And then the Wayans brothers would watch BET Uncut. They haven't had a new white chick, so they saw it, you know, and they reached out to someone who knew me from the music business, and then, you know, I got a nice little check for that, got a little placement for the credits, nice little publishing, so, and, you know, I had a couple meetings with some labels that really work out. Now I'm back on the independent stuff, doing a little bit with my reggae influence, and, you know, back at it. So after a bit of a hiatus, I never really stopped. I would always, you know, put out a song here, a song there, but this is my first official project right now, on Return of the Rude Boy.
Yeah, that's my next question.
Since original Rude Boy, so yeah. So so that's how it happens. One song. I had a few other songs on the album. Liquor Land 1 and 2, that was kind of popular. Black Rapper Squad had a video for it, but obviously that was the big hit because it had BET behind it.
Yeah. And I see, like at the time, BET pushing so much, it drove like that took like over 50 million views.
Something like that.
So this is the original hardcore like marketing pushing. This is not the internet, and you know, this is TV, and if you saw it, you saw it, you gotta wait till you see it again, you know. So that's back then, and doing those numbers back then with the internet now, it would be like it would be up there in the like billions.
Well, they were saying like I think Uncut was averaging like 400,000 viewers a night, and if they showed the video like a few hundred times, you know what I mean? So that's like you know, the 100 million, so much views from at that standpoint, when you didn't really have a time count, you just had like Nielsen ratings to kind of judge what people was watching.
Give like a projection, right?
Yeah.
So now the Return of the Rude Boy. Talk to me about like any features on the album. Like I see True Champion. I love that song.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
There's another song too. Keep the Faith.
Yeah.
Keep the Faith. I rock with that. I was listening to that when I was on my way here today.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Those are my two favorites.
Nice.
From the album. Talk to me like the features. Like, how did you decide? When did you decide to come back on the scene and do a project? And walk me through that.
I think I did Keep the Faith solo. I was just a producer, a producer on the keyboard. It was something like I had in the back of my mind I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wound up and I played it for my friend Chris Schlarb, who was who worked with VP Records and other stuff. He's also a bass player. He was like, yo, let's build a band around it. So we started recording, and then we did a song, I Got That Weed, and Jabami, who's a big Trinidadian star,
shout out to
reggae star. He happened to be in the studio for a session before that, so he just vibed with us, and he was like, we hop on that. And then, we felt the vibes right there, so we was all like, yo, why don't you come and rehearse with us and perform with us. So then we had actually recorded True Champion, and we were performing with Jabami, and I wanted to put it out. I was like, yo, and I need to get Jabami on this. So I was like, yo, Jabami, just do what you do for the performances on that.
Yeah.
And then so we also have him on the other song, No Gun Man, which he also shot a video for. So that's how we got Bami on that. And then so it's a lot of live music, except for Keep the Faith, which sounds live, but it's actually keyboard production. But so I'm on the keyboard on a lot of the stuff. I helped write and arrange it along with Chris. And
so you play as well?
Yeah, I play the keyboards.
Nice.
So I did a lot of like the melody arrangements, the chord arrangements, and stuff like that for the stuff. So and that's good because that's something like my father taught me how to play the piano, gave me piano lessons, all that. So it's something like I always like to write songs, work on chord changes. So transitioning from hip hop to like a more hip hop reggae, I was allowed to bring in that more melodic aspect and bring in more, the chord changes, the bass lines, the music theory, as opposed to just, the lyricism and the hooks. And able to experiment more with writing instead of just doing like 16 bars. I could do like 8 bars, do a hook, do a break. So it was, it was a good experience, kind of, changing the. Because when you bend genres, you kind of break rules. Because it was like hip hop, it was like, oh, you got to do like 16 bars and you got to do this. And it was like, oh, if you're pure reggae, you got to just sing all the time. You can't chat. So trying to, break rules and have, fun. So there's, there's rhythmic reggae, it's real roots, dancehall, hip hop inspired projects. So. Here got Keep the Faith, I got that Weed, True Champion, we got a couple remixes on there. One with Roz Kwame, he's a real big DJ in the UK. And we have another dropping another remix featuring Richie Don, a big UK artist. So we're trying to, globalize it a little bit.
I heard you have something coming up on Reggaeville?
Yeah, well, the True Champion video will be launched on Reggaeville. I'm really excited about that because, I love their content. Follow them, they do a great job curation, have an amazing following in the reggae community. And I got a lot of like good hip hop press before. So to be like, and I see it now, I'm seeing like all the, seeing where I'm getting airplay, seeing who's like liking my stuff, and to be really accepted by the reggae community is meaning a lot. So that's really important to get that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From outside of the hip hop and getting, the real reggae DJs and real fans have been real supportive so far. We're looking to push it even further. It's just off, a little rating. I'm seeing like, we got a good review in Belgium on reggae.be, which is, reggae, Belgium's biggest reggae website. I'm seeing, reggae play like all over the country. So, I'm excited about it. What we're the love again the reggae world. I also want to bring it to the hip hop people, the old fans. I think it's good, catchy, universal music.
It is. It's that music you relax and listen to. It takes your mind away from what you got going on in life. It takes your mind away from the stuff that's the monotony that's on the radio and stuff. So you throw in that Return of the Rude Boy CD and you just vibe out.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot, man.
As you said, there's a lot of catchy phrases and stuff on it, so you're gonna be remembering the hooks, forever. So shout out to you for that. Your great job on that.
Oh, project. Thanks, man. It's really feels good to get good feedback on it because work hard on it, and it's not really not too many gimmick music. It's just I'm just trying to make good, fun music that people can enjoy. People of all ages. There's a couple marijuana mentions. If you got children out there, you can skip over. I got that weed, but. You can play the song at your birthday party, your kid's birthday party, also.
All right. Now, in terms of upcoming projects or performances, any dates you want to put out there?
I don't really have anything that I could come thinking of. No performances. Last Sunday we rocked with Jay Roning's birthday party with.
Yes. Shout out to Jay Roning. That's the
so that was, and it was good to get back. So I did more hip hop stuff, but it really went over well with the crowd, even with the new reggae stuff. Because I was a little worried, like how was like the real hardcore hip hop was gonna react. And they, got good response. Like even Tragedy Gaddafi, a rapper I looked up to a lot, and gave me really good feedback. So getting good feedback from the hip hop community and the reggae community on the new stuff is important. But I need new dates, I need new shows, so I need to promote it out there. I'm ready to rock.
Alright, in terms of dream collabs, do you have anybody that you would want to work with? You see that's doing their thing right now?
I saw Barris yesterday. I would love to do Barris and Buju.
Legend.
I would love to when Buju comes out. I would love to do a track with Buju. Of course, on the hip hop level, of course, I would love to do Nas. Slick Rick still around. DMC from Run DMC, but DMC would be great. I would love to do even like a Richie Spice, in terms of something a little more conscious, some energy, trying to think. Few people. I would love Drake just to make money. Like.
Now, speaking about Drake, like I was looking at your online, your YouTube and stuff, and people kept comparing you.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, this is the original Drake.
Yeah, I think it's a biracial thing. I'm light skinned. We both have a black parent or white parent. I don't know. I see a lot of that too. I see a lot of jokes and memes. I don't like being called ugly Drake. You know what I mean? I'm Anton Casey. I'm Anton Casey. You know. But yeah, and I think like also he's an artist who mixes like melody and rhythm too. Right. He knows that sound. So I feel like going like we came totally different ways to being a little similar, but you know still real different in that because he has the Jamaican influence is heavy in Toronto because of the people there, even though he's not Jamaican. And for me it was a family.
Just like a culture.
Yeah.
Like got enveloped into the atmosphere and he took it on.
Yeah, and
for you it's like it's blood.
Yeah. And you see that in like UK too, where like Jamaican slang and all that there. And he does the R&B and the hip hop too. I do reggae and hip hop, but it's funny. I like reading the comments. It used to bother me too, but now I'm like, if I can make money off it, get some girls
whatever. And also too, it's like people will be looking at the comparison in terms of, like you said, the musical influence. So you mix genres a lot, he mix genres a lot. So it could be that type of comparison.
Yeah, if it could,
you know what I mean? So
it could be worse,
But I think it's whatever. It's still promotion.
Yeah, for sure.
People still talking about you still.
Yeah.
Fancy,
it's crazy after all these years.
Music. Now, pretty much for young people out there who are just starting, maybe deciding to do a career, or they they want to take something on in terms of the industry. What advice would you give to them being in the industry for a couple of years?
I would say build a team, be part of a team. A team is very important, and like I think like so a lot of people you want to rush to be a star these days, but I would say really develop your craft.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy. Like you could just put your phone up, rap, and then all your Facebook friends can see it. But for me, it would be like I would work on it, perfect it, have one friend like get better, and then then bring it to the world, rather than I can bring it to the world. Let me do that right now. And also, I would also say, don't do it unless you can be accept being broke from it, because it's very competitive, very hard. If you want to be famous, you could just shake your ass or get in a fight on World Star. If you want to be like talented and you're passionate about music, that's when you do it. But I think a lot of people is like they see music as a way to fame or money. They want fame and money, and they see other people from similar do it through music. So if that's what you want, I think like you should just chill. But if you really love music, if you love entertaining, if you love being creative, hustle, work hard, get with a team so you can focus on music. See, and learn the business, learn things about radio promotion, learn about social media promotion, learn about online promotion, learn about publishing, learn about all these things in the business, because if you want to make money out of it, you're going to need to know about all these things, and also to have people around you. And you might even, if you want to be a rapper, you might even want to just work with someone, help them promote their stuff, help that team get to a level. And then when that team's at a level, then you have a platform.
Yep.
So everyone's trying to do stuff for themselves, be a star for themselves. But you need supporters, you need people to help promote you, you need people to help you make your music, you need people to help book your shows. If you want to monetize it, you're going to need to be with some type of organization, some type of group, whether it be a record label or a group of friends, or you can become the label. So don't count on anything in this game. I'm really lucky, I feel like, to be blessed to make money in the game. So many like aspiring artists with talent,
and it's like they're lost in the sauce. It's like they can't find their way.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I had dreams of being a basketball player when I was growing up. I found out I wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? But I still like playing basketball. I still have fun playing basketball. So if you like making music, I like the game too. I like the music industry. It's a fun game for me. It's not, it's a good hustle. It's work. It's not, it's not laying out on the beach. But it's a good hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun hustle, and just ups and downs. Like you never know. Like you could put out a record, you think it's the hottest record ever, and you just get like 100 views and shit like that. Or you could just put out some trash and go viral and get a big success. So
just keep the consistency is important.
Keep the consistency. Make sure you love. Make sure you're in it for the love, not for the love of money and the fame. And if you're in it for the love of music, like that's it. You know. Then you can even have a day job, and then you just come home and jam with your friends, and you freestyle with your friends, and then you post something on Facebook. Maybe a few friends like it, but if you love it, it makes you happy to do it. But if you really want to make money out of music, you gotta learn the business. Be willing to add other things, like you gotta have a good show.
Right.
You gotta perform well. You gotta have
stage presence.
Have good stage presence, good energy, get your lyrics. Have some gimmicks. If you want to make money, gimmicks work. But yeah, just if you want to make money in this business, learn the business. I would really advise everyone actually to be a disruptor, change the business. If we all come together, we can take music over for ourselves. But if you want to be successful, unfortunately, you might want to start a beef with Takashi if you want, shake your ass, have a sex tape, go on Love and Hip Hop. Those are ways to success if you want them. But for me, real success is making great music that stands the test of time. It's not money to pay along for it, because if you want to keep making money though, if you want to keep making music, studio time costs money. You know what I'm saying? You want to have good musicians around you, it costs money. So my advice to young musicians are, if you really are in it for the love of music, please keep doing it. Please keep working, and do not get discouraged. You know what I'm saying?
That's some great advice.
Yeah, don't get discouraged, because
keep going. That passion that's in you, it's always gonna be there. And if you stop doing it, it's gonna bother you anyway. So have that outlet. Keep at it. Keep getting better. As you said, get a team around you, and it will happen. You know what I mean? Now my next question is going to be, looking at what's trending out there in terms of the industry and the direction hip hop is going into, and the culture itself. Kanye.
Yeah.
What do you think about what's going on with Kanye right now, and with the Trump relationship, how it's spinning off into hip hop, the younger generation, the effects it's having on the world on the whole?
See, I think in some ways what Kanye's doing is good and it's bad. I think a lot of black people and a lot of people feel like, hey, we just need to support Democrats. We need to support them.
No matter what.
No matter what. No matter they have affairs, they sell crack, they put it in the hood, and they lock black people up and in jail. So I think Kanye has always been someone who will go against the grain. Mm-hmm. So if everyone is wearing green hoodies, he's gonna wear a green polo. So I think part of it is he's seeing everyone supporting them. So he's I obviously see Trump as playing off racism, bigotry, economic exploitation. But I think in Kanye, so going against what everyone's saying, because it's before, everyone loved Obama, you couldn't say anything bad about Obama. If you said something, you was a hater. But meanwhile, Obama was bombing countries. You know what I mean? He was doing stuff that was not productive for the hood. He was doing stuff that was not productive for the world. But because no one would go against the grain and be like, yo, no, Obama necessarily ain't the greatest. I don't need to hug him at the White House. No rappers was really criticizing him, right?
Right.
He was doing.
It was everybody's friend.
Everybody was going to the White House hugging. They wasn't asking him, yo, why did you take out Gaddafi, yo? Why is there slavery in Libya? Because you said, you know what I'm saying? So I feel and it's so easy for someone to point the finger and say, look at him, he's so stupid. He likes Trump. But then why don't you look at yourself? What are you doing politically? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But everyone just wants to point the finger at someone else. Oh, Kanye's so stupid. But what did you do? What did you do in the election? Did you support Hillary Clinton? Because she wasn't too hot either.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your solution?
What's your solution? But you just want to point a finger at the problem and point a finger at Kanye. But what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing to make this world a better place for men, for women, for poor people, for black people, for everybody? So it's I know it's so easy to get people to get caught up in distractions, and that's why Trump is so good, because he's a walking distraction.
He's a master of
he's gonna say something stupid. He's gonna call someone a horse face. like needle
Listen,
dick.
I imagine him in the mornings like, yo, look what I'm gonna tweet today. You know, like he got his coffee and he stretches his hands, like creaks his finger a little bit and just watch the world explode and burn.
And that's how you, if you give someone the power to make you mad, that's power over them. So if you just mad at Trump all day for whatever reason, like, yo, I look at my bank account, I look at my life, I'm not getting arrested, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
My life personally.
Yeah.
My life personally. Trump ain't fucking with me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
It has no
I know
bearing.
you can talk about maybe some deported children or something. You can say, yeah, Trump is fucking, but
Yeah.
most people is protesting the news. They're not protesting the world. They're protesting what they see on TV. You know what I'm saying?
And they're being, like, as you said, the attention span. So he knows that, okay, this tweet has a certain lifeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me get another tweet out there,
Yeah.
you know, get me on the tabloids. So, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. And as you said, you give him that power to control you and make you mad and angry now. Your blood pressure is up. You got to be in the hospital taking medication because of a tweet.
So it's,
you know, so that's the reality.
and that's what Kanye into. And I feel like, you know, I feel in my life, like I have my certain things that I know is distractions. I watch the NBA, I got the NFL, I watch my Love and Hip Hop. And there's certain like celebrity gossip, like what did 50 Cent do, what did Tekashi do. I know these are distractions.
Right.
This isn't news, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is real news of the world that is like, you know, military budgets, wars,
and now
legalization of marijuana.
Climate change. Now that's a big thing. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but every country has a flood going on right now.
That's crazy.
Every country has a major flood. So how did we get to this point where nobody knows about, like, 2 cyclones hit India back to back?
No,
like
everyone knows Trump called Stormy Daniels horseface though.
But nobody knows that these places that are being ravished and destroyed on the hour, pretty much. You know what I mean? And we don't really see that because, as you said, we're too busy in the gossip, and they got us our attention like this, like, okay, come over here. But what's back there is like burning and washing away.
Exactly.
And a lot of us are from like the islands and, you know, other countries. So when you don't know what's going on in your country because you're too busy being distracted by what's going on here, that's not really going on. A lot of it is fabricated, and, you know, people make phone calls like, yo, look, we're gonna start a beef and XYZ, just play along with it.
Yeah.
Hang up, you know what I mean? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But then you get caught up and you're not even realizing your family's in danger back home, and real news. Real things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and especially for, like, you know, poor people with our background in the Caribbean, Africa, Latin America. Like you was talking about what's going on in Venezuela right now.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why even what's going on in my book, I think, because Jamaica as a place attracts attention because, you know, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt. So, you know, people might not be interested to see what the CIA does in Guatemala or see what the CIA does in, like, Indonesia, but because it's like Jamaica, it's interesting stuff for people. So, yeah, I would say it is. There's a lot of media mind control. Trump is great for distracting people for everything and getting people, he's polarizing people. So you're getting, you know, half America fighting against half America, while the 1% collects all their money and laughs. And Black Lives Matter fighting against the Trump supporters, fighting against the lesbians, fighting against the Christians, fighting against Mexicans, fighting against the white people. You know, just everything.
Everything. It's like
and it's poor people mad at other poor people. Rich people all laughing together.
True. True. Now, we're gonna move to the website, the platform. Now, talk to me about the music video generator, mvdgen.com. What is it?
So it's a website. It will soon be an app. It's a website in which you can use keywords and you upload your music and you get music videos. So, like, if you have a song about being happy, you type in happy and you'll get people smiling, people dancing, happiness. If you got a song about, you know, girls twerking, you get girls twerking. So basically what we do is you type in your keywords and we find GIFs that match your keywords and we edit them into a video. So if you have a music video and you want anything, you want blue skies, you want BMWs, you want basketball, soccer, sexy girls, Jamaica, Kingston, Harlem, anything, you just type in those keywords and our engine finds them and generates a video for you. So, you know, we have almost 2 million views on YouTube. We work with like Major Lazer, also Run the Jewel, you know, a few people. So we work with like Mankind, who I managed, so they have a lot of good conceptual rap. So yeah, any up and coming artist, like, you know, if you want to use SoundCloud, you can see the SoundCloud. But if you want to have like some free visuals from your music, go to mvgen.com, upload the music. It's pretty easy to do. We have all sorts of filters and effects. You can do zooms, reverses. We got crazy effects, man. There's all sorts of, like, it's almost like Final Cut Pro, but it's free. You can upload your own GIFs too if you want to have your own GIFs in there, if you want to put yourself in a video. Yeah, mvgen.com. So we really trying to, you can put it all on Instagram, put your videos on Facebook, put the videos on YouTube, put them on Twitter, like anything you want to match it. You got, you know, if anyone knows like how big GIFs are, like, you understand.
Listen, it was just a few weeks ago that Instagram made GIFs available in the DM, and soon I'm believing they're gonna do that for the comments and everything. But GIFs are like, you know, it's like it tells your expression, your emotion in just a few seconds. So back in the days when, you know, people make their music, their albums and stuff, I remember in Jamaica, for instance, I used to be around a lot of people who make music and things, and they used to, you know, spend hours finding pictures and stuff to put to match what the song was saying. This is like a AI run program that's on the website that's available free. All you gotta do is go to mvgen.com. All my artists out there that's watching and listening, you don't gotta do the work no more. Just put your song, upload it. Type in the keywords what you want the visuals to represent, and it puts it together for you. You have a tool that edits it. You could do manual editing as well, just to tighten up the visuals, right?
No, we don't have that. We're looking on getting that, so you can have like the GIFs to match at certain times. No, we don't have that yet. But you can change like the speed. You can reverse it. You can flip it. You can change the colors. You can do a lot of different things with it. And then you could take it in, and then you could put in another editing software, and then
do that. Yeah. But pretty much most of the work is done. Like, you don't gotta do nothing really after you plug the audio in. So make sure you check that out. It's gonna save you a lot of time if you do a lot of music. If you're a producer and you put out a lot of music.
Yeah, especially like Instagram. Like, it's good for quick 1 minute videos on Instagram. Like I put out like, and I could have like, so I have a song True Champion, and I'm like, all right, so I did one with Steph Curry, one with Raheem Sterling, one with Michael Jordan, one with Serena Williams. So I could have like 15 videos for the same song over and over and over again. Put them on Instagram. You know, 100, 200, 1,000 views, depending on how many followers you have.
And I could tell you, for people like me, who is one of the top meme makers in social media, that right there is like my killer. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if I'm working with people, it makes my work easier because I could just go to your website and I could plug in the audio if I'm working with an artist or whatever, and put in the keywords, and it makes the video, and it's like a meme too.
You could just repeat the same GIF.
Yeah.
You could have the same like GIF repeating over and over and again. And there's so many funny GIFs out there on the internet. So if you want to make a good funny meme video, you could do that. If you want to make a, you know, serious video, you could do it. You want to make a fighting video, you could do it. A loving video, you could do it. Twerking, daggering, whatever floats your boat.
And you know, bring it full circle, you know what I mean, that's pretty much the future. You know, everything is going to be AI soon, so that's pretty much getting on the band, getting on the wave early before everybody else is doing it. So make sure you check out mvgen.com. My next question is going to be, like, what percentage would you say social media or the internet plays in today's music industry?
Less than people think it does. I think it's very important to get in people's faces, and I think it's really important to get people to see your live show. I think it's really important to get people to like feel your merch. So I notice like I think people just rush to social media and they think if you just put the content on social media, no. They need to have an incentive to come there. So if you are at a show and you're performing, the people have no choice but to listen to you.
Right.
If you post your stuff on social media, like I have a lot of, you know, artist friends, and I could just scroll, and I see, oh wow, they posted it as a new song, that's nice. But I'm not listening to it.
You have a choice,
right? But again, and even though radio isn't as big as it used to be, but if I'm in the car, I'm in the Uber, and he's playing Hot 97, I have no choice but to hear Drake.
Right, and then also, if you're, not to cut you, if you make your music and push it to a level where it's in the rotation, you really have no choice, because no matter what station you go to, you're going to be there. So the real work, as you said, is to still get on those, you know, what we call the older, more traditional way of being seen and heard, rather than the internet. The internet, you could, as you said, you have a choice. You could swipe up, scroll away, and turn off your phone if you want to. But at a live show, at a concert, you know, and then on the radio
or TV movies. TV, like if you're watching a movie, and then a song comes on. Even commercials, like the commercial, the sound might stick in your head because you hear it in the commercial all the time. So I think social media, like, for popularity, like if you look at someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine, who's constantly like making funny videos, like I think it's done a lot for his persona, his career, like other places like that. In terms of his music, I'm not really sure, you know what I mean? And of course, the bigger of a personality you could be. So I think, but I feel like if you're an artist and you just want to be known for your music, like look at Adele. Adele don't do nothing on social media, right?
And she's selling out.
She sells more than anybody, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Taylor Swift does a little bit, it doesn't do much. Like, Adele tweets like once a year, but she makes great music, you know what I'm saying? So I think it really depends on who the artist is and what you're trying to do in terms of what percentage of social media is. Because social media is kind of, you know, it's taking places of the magazines.
Yeah, and also when you look at, say, for instance, a superstar such as Drake on his last project, he's good and everything, but a social media influencer like Shiggy gave him a #1 hit, you know what I mean? In terms of nobody was really paying attention to that song. But then once the challenge came about and everything, social media did what it did and had some real life effects. Now Shiggy's been featured in other videos and just because of that, you know what I mean? So shout out to Shiggy, you know what I mean? But on the flip side, as you said, it depends on the artist.
Depends on the artist. But Drake got that. What you really have to do as an artist is you represent, and then you have your fans go hard on social media for you, rather than you going so crazy hard on social. So if you look at like Beyonce's Beehive, Nicki Minaj's Barbie Army, whatever, like they had their fans go hard on social media for them, but they had to get them as fans first.
Yeah,
so you know, Drake had to become like popular enough so someone like Shiggy would just do the dance to him for it. So I think like I love the idea of like challenges and fans, and that's another great thing about MVGen, because your fans can make videos for you. You know what I mean? Your fans can help you go viral with it.
And it's a couple seconds.
Couple
seconds. You could drop it now, and then like a minute or two later have a visual to go with it, and that go viral.
Right. So I think if you can connect with the fans and have them to do a reason where they lip sync to you on Instagram, or they do a dance on Facebook, or just, you know, they use it to play their music, and I think that's important. To
engagement.
To have, like, so you don't gotta promote. I think in your first steps is really hard initially to get through that first layer of the music business to even break, to even get the ball rolling, to even get like 10, 20 views. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's rather not you sharing your stuff all the time, right? If you could just chill, but your friends are sharing, your supporters are sharing. Like, I think social media is more important for fans than artists. So if you could have, like, I know a lot about like a Beyonce all over my page. I don't care too much about Beyonce, but I have so many Facebook friends who post about Beyonce, everything she does. Because, you know, I don't follow Beyonce on Instagram or Facebook, but
you can't help but see. You're right.
Because her fans are so, and like, social media is a great way to, like, for fans to engage. You know what I mean? It's the fans to engage their fandom, not necessarily for like artists to engage with fans. And I think like a lot of artists, when I see them engaging with fans, they look so petty. I'm like, you're arguing with someone with 2 followers, calling them ugly, talking about their baby, like, why are you just leave it alone? That's like you at a basketball game and
somebody way up in the
bleachers says you suck, and you run out and go, no, you suck.
You start the game. Hold on.
In social media, try not to engage the haters as a musician, because I know like Facebook, someone comments on your stuff, so it's personal. You might know the person, you're gonna react.
Right.
But like, if someone, like, there's so many trolls, and they love to get any artist's attention and just tell you something. Once you engage with them, they won.
And and they become famous.
If you shoot me,
A lot of people do
about you,
it. A lot of people do it just to get the fame.
yeah.
I mean,
it works.
I run the platform called PettyPost, so it's like I will put up something and people would just try to, you know what I mean, come at that. They're not even trying to leave a general comment. They like, whoever posted this or whoever made this is such and such.
Yeah.
And I'm like I like the comment too, because like, you know what I mean? You're not going to get a response from me. You're going to be more mad because I'm going to be like, yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? You're going to be more pissed than me at the end of the day. But people really wake up just to do that. You know what I mean? Get that reaction out of you. Because now, if you block them, they're going to post it on their page like, I got blocked by Beyonce, I got blocked by PettyPost. Like, they feel good.
But my thing is, even like, I would not even kid, like, you got to check your mentions to even care about being blocked. You know what I mean? Like,
that's it. Some people, it's their life.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would think you have something better to do. Like, I got like, if you're a celebrity making millions of dollars a year, like, let me see this mention. And they'll never thank the person who says something nice about them.
True.
They'll never come up like, oh, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah.
I like people like you. You know, yes, you can get that happy birthday shout out. They don't mention them. That one person who said about their wig. What you mean about your wig? You broke down. Like, show love to the supporters, man. Let your supporters fight the haters. Don't do that.
You hear that, celebrity? Show love to the supporters. Like, that's why they're gonna keep trolling you, because they want that energy. That
it's like bad kids. If you don't give a kid no attention, then you're gonna start acting up. You can get that attention somewhere.
All right, now we go into the author side of things. The book, Inside the CIA Secret War in Jamaica. All right, talk to me. Like, when did you decide to get this, go on this path to write this book and you know, get the information together and stuff like that? Just walk me through the whole process. So
I've always been interested, like, you know, like my father's from Jamaica, I'll go there all the time. I always see the PNP, JLP graffiti, and I always like overhear conversations with my uncles and my aunts about politics, and, you know, be interested in that. And also in Jamaica, they had one channel, so I'll go there. I had no choice to watch the Jamaican news, you know, because it's always been on. So for a long time, I was interested. Then one time, I went to the Bob Marley Museum, and they took on a tour.
On Hope Road, right?
On 56 Hope Road, yeah. And the tour guide took me to a place, and he goes, and here is the bullet holes from the CIA trying to kill Bob Marley. I was like, whoa! But I never heard that. And he was like, no. And I was like, hold up, is that true? Yes, it's true.
That's a part of the tour?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had that, man. Then I would read, like, you know, like Timothy White's Catch a Fire, which is a biography. And read Shower Posse book by Vivian Blake's son. So I would always be interested. I was just listening to reggae music. And then it was when Dudis was... Dudis, who is Christopher Cole, who is Lester Jim Brown Cole's son, member of the Shower Posse. When he was, you know,
extradited.
He was extradited, and they actually went in and they had a big seizure of Timothy artists.
I was in Jamaica.
That was crazy. So I took all the information I had from before to put in perspective, because everyone's talking about the Shower Posse, and I found it interesting that now the USA is trying so hard to take out the Shower Posse, when before they was really trying to support them, make them big, make them into a political entity to fight against.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah, so I found it. So that story actually went viral and went real well. A lot of people covered it, and then a friend of mine started a book company, and he was like, "Why don't you just do a story on one of your most popular articles?" I was like, "That was." And what happened? I was lucky, and then WikiLeaks released a whole bunch of cables from the American Embassy during the time period, right when I was writing the book. So I had a lot of information, a lot of data to kind of, you know, investigate the case. So, and there was a lot of other books, like Laurie Guntz wrote Born Free Dead, which is a good book. And there was also found there's a guy by the name of Trevor Monroe, who's still around in Jamaica. He's like a progressive activist, but he had a newspaper at the time. And his newspaper just focused on the CIA, so he was just writing on what the CIA was. So it was like day by day. So I had all sorts of, like, you know, first-hand sources. And then there was other, you know, good Bob Marley, books on Bob Marley, other books on the Shower Posse, other books on this. So I just combined all that information. I didn't do too much investigative journalism, like going down and asking people who did this and this. Well, I really stuck to, like, facts, first-hand documents. And it's really interesting. What happened was that, you know, right when I kind of finished the book, I see that a gentleman by the name of Marlon James is writing a fiction book, which is called Brief History of Seven Killings, but his book is basically a fiction version of what's covered in my book.
Yeah.
And his book, I think originally it got bought by HBO, then it went to Amazon. I think it won like a Booker Prize. And then I saw like just a few days ago on Netflix just premiered a documentary called Remastered, Who Shot the Sheriff? And it's all about, you know, the CIA shooting Bob Marley and Michael Manley, Edward Seaga, and PNP, JLP in the same war. So a lot of people, I feel like, rewarded that, you know, I was like, this is something that people's been interested in, so I jumped on it soon. So the book is still selling pretty well. Hopefully you can get some, like, if it does get turned into a movie or something like this, or another documentary. I feel like when I watched that documentary, they read my book and just like, because a lot of people they interviewed in my book, storyline, I wish they could have given me some money. But I'm glad that the truth's out there, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the important thing. You know, growing up in Jamaica around that time when a lot of some of the things you mentioned in the book were happening, being there, you don't really, if you're not like in tune to know what's going on, you don't really know what's going on in terms of what causes what.
Right.
So you can see a lot of killings in certain areas, you see a lot of things going down in government, but you really don't know who is behind a lot of the things. So listening to a couple of interviews you did and, you know, going through some of the things you wrote about kind of brought it full circle for me and, you know, opened my eyes to it. Like, okay, this is where the energy was coming from. This is why that went down at that time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's I definitely recommend reading the book Inside the CIA's Secret War in Jamaica. You know, I mean, it shows you what has been done to not just Jamaica, but, you know, countries all over the world using the same template.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you must definitely check that out. Also check out the documentary.
Yeah, Remastered, Who Shot the Sheriff, and Marlon James' book, Brief History of Seven Killings. And if you like, if you read my book, watch, you'll read Marlon James' book, like, oh, I know who that character is, oh, I know who that character is, like, oh, I know what that event was. And then it'll bring a lot, like, reading my book gives a lot more context, because the Netflix documentary is like an hour, and they do a lot of stuff. But my book goes into a lot deeper.
Right.
You know, you get a lot of the same, like, a lot of the conclusions they came to in the documentary was the ones that were in my book, in terms of, you know, Jim Brown involved in the shooting at 56 Hope Road.
Yo, that right there, just because as I said, you don't know. So it's like hearing that went down in terms of the CIA putting money into this party to carry out this assassination on such a legend. And I mean, like, you would have never imagined that was really what happened. You know, but, you know, coming to see the facts and know what's going on, like, it puts a different spin on, like, how you perceive, you know, politics and how the world is ran, you know what I mean? And being a Caribbean native and growing up there, you get now a different perspective to see what America is, and it truly is, you know, what really runs America and what really runs the world. You know, so I'm not going to give away too much of what the book is about. I definitely encourage everyone that's watching right now to go get the book, go download it. It's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, you can Amazon. You can buy the Kindle, or you could download order the paperback. Yeah, you can download it. If you get the Kindle, like, I made sure to really source everything. So if you get the Kindle version, it will take you to all, like, the documents and all my sources, all the old newspapers, all the old declassified cables and stuff like that. So.
And another thing too that you mentioned with the CIA agent and the cleats.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny, but it shows you how real it is. Recently, the CIA agent confessed to.
No, that was fake news.
It was?
That was fake news.
Okay. See?
Yeah, that was fake news. But in the remastered documentary, Carl Colby, William Colby's son, talks about after Marley was shot, going to Marley's house. Now he's the one who they said gave him the cleats, but he's in this documentary. He also did another. He's in the Netflix documentary. But he also did another documentary about his father. So I think from my research, I'm 100% sure, like, in somehow that the CIA paid Jim Brown or whoever. I heard it was like guns and cocaine to shoot Bob Marley. In terms of the cancer, very possible that it could have been, but it's not.
It's not like.
Yeah. that was, and what a lot of times will is they will have like a fake confession or fake news. So then when someone says that's the real truth, they're like, no, fake news. See?
Okay.
But the CIA agent confession was fake news.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now you're getting the real. So for those of you who are posting about what happened, just know that was not how it went down.
Yeah. Not to say they didn't do it, but no CIA agent confessed to that.
Now, things like that still happening in Jamaica?
Right now, I think you have China playing a big role in Jamaica.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, my mom was just up here recently, and she's like, "Yo, China took over Jamaica."
If you look at the highways they're building and all that, I think America
billions.
I think America's power is that they've spent too much money, like focusing on it. And right now, I think before when you had Manley, he was like a threat because he was socialist. There's no threat like. Whether you go Porsche or Wholeness or whoever, they're still U.S. allies. They're not aligning themselves with Cuba. So CIA is not necessarily going to necessarily try and go in one party or other. They're still involved in the drug trade, very much so. So any type of gangsters there, some type of they still controlling a lot of the drug trade for whatever reasons. Might not be still for in Jamaica, might be for Venezuela, might be for another country that not Jamaica. I don't think they're too worried about Jamaica anymore after, because even Manley kind of softened his tone. We started the democratic socialism. Castro's dead. America has so much to worry about in like the Middle East. You know what I'm saying right now. So if there is any stuff going on, I'm sure they're there. I'm sure that they're taking notes. I'm sure that they might
still
have
observing, but not too much hands on.
I don't know if they need to kill him because either way they're gonna win. If Wholeness wins or Patterson.
Right, they still got them in the pocket, so
it's not. They don't have it. There's no threats.
Okay. Now with the how should I say this now? With the book, right? You went into the Manley story. Now, I would say from experience, Michael Manley was one of the best prime ministers Jamaica had in terms of the direction he was taking the country in. So I can definitely see where he would be a threat.
To America for sure.
And then that's when the height of the violence and the political killings and stuff were going on.
I mean, if you look at it in Venezuela, it's a common tactic. Like if you've seen what's going on in the Middle East, before when the CIA wants regime change, they want a new government. They'll foment violence however they can, with their own drug gangs, with their own political warfare. So then they'll say, hey, this leader, he can't even keep control of his country. Meanwhile, they're the reason you call it violence.
They cause the instability, right?
Right, and then so they kind of bring him in. I mean, I think from what I did understand from Michael Manley, in terms of political violence, his hands were dirty as well. He wasn't clean, but ideologically, and I think, and this is a problem, right? When I speak to some of my Jamaican relatives, it's like, are you gonna go with the ideology, or are you gonna go with what works? So he with Manley with his ideology, which was a good ideology, Black Power, spread the wealth and everything. That's a good ideology. But once he has that, you got a big new force like America.
Yeah.
They'll say they don't want to see that. So I think the real problem wasn't really with Manley, but it's what he couldn't accomplish. It's what his father couldn't accomplish. It's his father really wanted to unify all the Caribbean states together, so they could have been more of an economic force. They would say, oh, so now you can't have our bauxite, no, you can't have we'll trade within ourselves, because rather than dividing and conquering all the other things. So I think that was really when the kind of economic exploitation made it a lot easier. And from Manley's position, because it was almost spread into Grenada. You had, Maurice Bishop. It was almost spread into, Guyana with Walter Rodney.
Yeah.
But it was a globally kind of stop. So what he did, and I mean, you could say like people could blame him for the food shortages, but that was really CIA.
So his hands were tied to some extent.
Hands were kind of tied, and then because Jamaica's a small country, and Jamaica is dependent on the United States.
Right.
Because they were dependent on England before, because they were a colony. They were meant to be a whole country.
Alright. Now, some news came out of Jamaica recently about they call it the management of the airports being given to Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, backtrack. They didn't say this out in the public, but doing some research, I found out that the airport, the Stansted International Airport, was under the management of this Mexican company since 2002 or something like that.
Yeah.
And now they just did the Norman Manley International Airport did that same contract. Now this contract runs for 25 years, and then with the option of doing another 5 years if they want to. A lot of people are upset because they're saying that we're selling out the country and we don't own a lot of things anymore, and we're just like, it's that story. I mean, what your thought be on something like that?
I mean, I do with David Soul, Air Jamaica, you have sandals. It's interesting because I would like to see not things owned by like a few rich people in Jamaica, but by, you know, the whole country.
Right.
So I think when you see China and Mexico coming in and Jamaica on this, it's because I think Jamaica is a country which has, you have so many hardworking, smart people capable of running or organizing things. But these people all get their educations and they come to the States, and you have, you know, certain people left over. So this is why Jamaica, when Jamaica is so organized, so mathematic. When you go to Jamaica, it's just like a disorganized.
It's like a brain drain.
It's a brain drain. So you have this organized country. So that's why people sometimes, rather than let like a business fail as a Jamaican, they'll give it to the Chinese or give it to people. But I do feel like, you know, as America is kind of fading away a little bit, that, you know, China and to a lesser extent Mexico. Mm-hmm. You know, I would worry about Mexico as in terms of drugs.
Okay.
Because, you know, they have a corrupt government. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then Jamaica has traditionally been a transport point right between Colombia and the States. So that's what I would be worried about in terms of drugs. In terms of Jamaicans owning things, it's like either you could have Butch Davis owned it, or you could have one of the 11 families in Jamaica owning it, or a foreign company. It doesn't make too much of a difference, really. And to me, if the people aren't owning it, the people aren't owning it. Whether, you know, it's going to be one rich Jamaican or a rich Mexican.
Yeah, because from my understanding, that company is like rated #1 in terms of the airport management. So
I mean, and that's sometimes things like. And I think that's, you know, when I hear criticisms of Jamaicans, it's that sometimes it's easier just to export a business, more known for their professionalism, like, you know, like I have, the Chinese do not on, no offense, no racism or anything like this.
It makes sense.
Efficient with it, you know, like it's the Mexicans fly.
Alright. Now, we're getting ready to close. I'm just gonna touch on a few more things. Jamaica has been pretty much more open to the export industry in terms of cannabis and that whole field. What do you think about that, knowing the history of how, you know, I mean, I guess it's the world per se, with how marijuana used to be illegal and now it's becoming more legal. Jamaica as like a country that's known for that.
Right.
What? Because the way how I hear that, I watch the news a lot. They're giving out the licenses. It's like it's there, but not a lot of people
can afford. Yeah.
Are grabbing. Not even. It's not that it's not affordable. It's that I guess they're still skeptical.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not like brought to the point where they said it's an open opportunity. If you got some money, you know, put into that, it's gonna explode. What do you think about that?
I feel if you could have it be an export, I feel like they've already shipped the first bit of weed to Canada.
Uh-huh.
I feel if Jamaica, because it's branded like Jamaican weed is branded like when you think of coffee, you think of cocaine in Colombia.
It's a no-brainer.
Right, when you think of like champagne, like you think of champagne in France, or when you think of cognac, you think of like France, Hennessy, like this. So, you know, cognacs are only made in France. Champagne's only made in Champagne. And if you could have like an Ital Jamaican weed where branded,
right,
because it's already branded.
That's
Jamaica
the next
brand is so
biggest
strong.
thing. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand, but.
But the thing is, and this is already the word, is that you're just gonna have like foreign investors gonna come.
That's it again. That's
and
gonna
they're gonna buy the land, and that's why that's the problem when you have like a license fee that's so out of range for your working class Jamaican. You know, you're only gonna have your elite rich Jamaicans or foreign investors able to buy licenses. So I have a friend, he actually named Varun Baker. He has an app called Ganja Gram. He's very involved in like technology, agriculture, and in Ghana. I think he just won like a startup pitch award in Rwanda.
Oh,
so
wow.
like his solution would be like any foreign investor who wants to buy an acre, another acre or 2 acres has to go to Jamaican people. I mean, the farmers were
Right,
in there
that's
for years. Yeah.
And also on that point, now recently announced they're going to open back the flying route from Russia to Jamaica. So there's going to be a straight flight. And on the news report, they did mention that the first flight is going to be investors.
Yeah.
From Russia that's coming in. So.
I mean, and the thing is like I'm sure the Russian investors, the Chinese investors, they're not looking to help Jamaica. They're looking to make money. But America has been the daddy to Jamaica, or they used to call Jamaica 51st state. But America has been so bad that Jamaica's like, hey, no, I'm dealing with the Russians, the Chinese, and everyone else because
got new parents.
Yeah, y'all been trying to exploit me too long. So it's like it's interesting to see where the relationship is. Because I think under Obama, because he was so charming, you know, walk on Jamaica.
Yeah. And everybody,
everybody love him. But with Trump, I think Jamaicans probably like Trump more than black people do because they respect a big personality, a Don man. He behaves like a Don. So it's interesting to see where like Jamaica-America relations will be under Trump. I don't know if they'll be any worse or better, but
we'll see.
Yeah. But Trump seems he's going to pass the federal ban on marijuana. He's thinking of passing it. So if you do that here, because I think like if Jamaica could just brand their marijuana and sell it, and then get into a position where it goes to the people and the Rastafari, the people who made
the brand,
and go back to them.
What it is they're saying that it's not just regular weed. It has to be cannabis. It has to be grown under certain conditions.
Yeah.
And
so like that's another thing my friend Bruno was saying. Like if you had like an ITAL stamped weed, like FDA, this is ITAL, this is Jamaica, pass all the standards, all that would be a way. Because the thing about weed though, now that it's legal, is that there's so much land. Jamaica's a small country, and you're gonna have like America buying like massive land for the weed. So you have like Philip Morris, all the tobacco companies are just gonna buy it. But it's gonna be, if they treat weed the way they treat food and tobacco and liquor, it's gonna be some trash with like chemicals and stuff like that.
Right.
So if Jamaicans can come into the market and be like, hey, this ITAL weed, we've been smoking weed for so long, we know how to grow it natural. Because a lot of the American weed is very high power, it isn't natural.
It's like mixed.
It's crossbred. I don't know if they got chemicals in it but it's not grown outdoors. It's grown indoors. So people like natural outdoor grown ITAL weed, stuff Marley smoked.
Alright. Last point before we wrap up. I was watching the news before I came here earlier, and I saw where they were mentioning that Venezuela is going to be cutting off the U.S. currency from they're going to stop using it and turn to the euro because of, I guess, some aggressive sanctions that the U.S. did recently that doesn't make sense for them to trade for the U.S. anymore. I know you are like more in depth with a lot of that, feeling stuff. What do you think, and what do you see the future of a move like that?
I think if you look at all the other places, I think like Iraq tried to do it, Libya tried to do it. I think that was why Libya was invaded, because Libya was trying to create their own currency and separate themselves from the euro, from the French, from the thing. So I think it's a power move, but it might be a death move too, because the USA just they don't like that. Anytime you take away their power, anytime you take away their central banks.
Right.
But for me, what's been going on in Venezuela has been crazy. First off, I think Chavez might have been this. So this is when you talk about Bob Marley. This is why I don't think it's so crazy when people say the CIA gave Bob Marley cancer, because there has been like research that they have done stuff like this. So I've seen in terms of his shot with Hugo Chavez, like him dying so rare. It's like some rare disease.
Yeah.
So I feel and then I don't know if Maduro is a good leader or not, but there's a lot of economic destabilization going on there. So one thing I covered in my book is when Chile, who's the original guy in Chile? Not Pinochet, the guy before Pinochet. Whatever book it actually. When they go on and take out the guy in Chile and put in Pinochet, Nixon told the CIA, said, make the economy scream. So that means anytime you want to take a country out, you could fuck up their economy.
Yeah.
So in Venezuela, what they did is they got together with all, like, you noticed like 2 years ago, gas was mad cheap.
Right.
So they teamed up with all OPEC, Saudi Arabia and all them, and they lowered the gas rate. And Venezuela suffered because, you know, Saudi Arabia, everyone else, they had overhead. So what's going on? A lot of a lot of these protests, a lot of the same stuff, a lot of this stuff, like if you read about going on right now, they talk what's going on in Jamaica in my book, and before what's going on in Chile, before they have a coup, and even like some of the people in my book. One guy, he just died, Louis Pasaya, Korea, as a crazy, dirty CIA agent, drug dealer. He bombed a Cuban plane, killed 63 people, assassinated. Yeah. Assassins involved in Iran-Contra, like real. But he just died. But as recently as 2 years ago, they said he was leading like Colombian mercenaries into Venezuela to try to attack. So they've been, even under Bush, they had a coup. They tried to take out Chavez, but then Chavez came back in power. So USA have been trying to take out Venezuela for a long time. And once they do that and they get the oil in Venezuela,
I saw
money.
Not to touch it, there was something that happened like a few days ago where a lawmaker got murdered and thrown off a balcony. But they were saying it so happened that the same day it happened was the same day the U.S. envoy arrived in that area. Yeah. So it's like, it's a lot that's still going on in terms of the destabilization and stuff like that. But, you know what I mean? Interesting book, interesting read. Make sure you go to Amazon, go to anywhere you could get a book and get the book inside a CIA secret operation in Jamaica. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to learn a lot of things.
Yeah, and also I draw a lot of like history of the CIA, going to the JFK assassination, Watergate. It really opened up American history as well as Jamaican history to me, like writing and researching this book. So I highly recommend, even if you just not even care too much about Jamaica, but you want to learn more about the world, I highly recommend you read it.
And before we go, just tell us where we could find your music and your social handles.
My music is available on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. My social handles are all Casey Game, Facebook, Casey Space Game, Instagram, one word, Casey Game, Twitter, Casey Game.
Alright, just spell it just so they could.
CASEYGANE.
Yeah, make sure you follow. Shout out to, can you shout out the location? Yeah, shout out to Esther and Carl for having us here today. Shout out to Brian for putting this together. Spoonfed Entertainment. Just make sure that you keep it locked in. This is Petty live with Petty on PettyPost Media. We're in the building. Want to give a special shout out to Still Motions for doing the video for us and making sure that we are, you know what I mean, crisp and clean and coming to you with great audio and everything. And stay tuned for the next episode. It's going to be epic. I am Petty, and we are out.
Yo, great research, man.
White girl going through my mind. Sarah Jackson and Julie too. White girl, Julie Jackson and Sharon. Help me unwind. The more I see, the more I do. Don't tell me it's a 5 o'clock. That's right. He don't wanna know what's going on. Cause white girls won't go away. There's one thing I know about imagination. Think it's a ride. White girl highway. Tell all the white girls they can swing my way. What up, baby girl? How you doing? Is you single? Have you ever messed with a light-skinned mandingo? And I could give a damn what all my friends say to me. You and me, baby, can start making up for slavery. Girl, I'm just playing. I got a white mom. You got any black in ya? Would you like some? Or would you like my songs that be playing on the radio? Well, you know this in serious form of flattery's fellatio. I ain't a picky guy, so I really don't care if you a hippie white chick who got underarm hair, or a ghetto white chick who be trying to act black with your name on your chain and your hair slicked back. You could be from anywhere, Maine down to Malibu, from the trailer park all the way to Park Avenue. See me with a black girl, you got the wrong man, or it might have just been a white girl with a tan. And sisters, don't get mad, cause I'm out banging white chicks, cause we all look the same. When we turn off the light switch, see back in the day, I was getting no play. Then I went the white girl way like OJ. You can call me Cape, but I'm sorry, OJ, cause I got my white girl and everything is okay. White girl going through my mind. G's, the more I do. Don't tell man it's the 5 o'clock. That's right. He don't wanna know what's going on. Cause white girls won't go. I've had rich ones, poor ones, I even have some famous ones like Tracy Lord.